So y'all know I'm obsessed with social media, right? So obviously I saw this recent viral video of a woman saying she hooked up with an alien. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
This is the story of the time that I hooked up with an alien. So I meet this guy on Hinge, and he was like, oh, I'm just passing through. I don't actually live in Iowa. I have my own private plane that I've been flying across the country, but I'd love to come and hang out for the night. I was like, okay, great. So he comes down. He was staying in a town that was like an hour away, but it only took him like 30 minutes to get here, which was a little weird. So we're hanging out, we have sex, whatever. The next morning, I call him an Uber home back to the town he was staying in, which was like an hour away, so it was an expensive Uber. And about 20 minutes later, I get refunded like half of my Uber charge, and I was like, what's going on? So I called the Uber, and the Uber was like, yeah, he had me drop him off at a random cornfield about 20 minutes away, so we're all good, like I won't charge you the full cost. And I was like, okay. And then that same day, this happened. There was a UFO spotting in Iowa about an hour away from where I live. And the weirdest part was later that day, I had no recollection of like what happened the night before. I was like, did I hang out with someone? Like I literally could not remember what I did the night before until literally today. Like today, this whole thing came flooding back to me. So like this alien literally wiped my memory, and I'm not kidding.
And I'm like, what? I am shook. I have so many questions. So Obs, I had to invite Claire McDonald to the show, IRL. Claire, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Okay, let's dive right in here.
Okay.
You hooked up with an alien.
I did.
Walk me through this. Were you in the DMs with each other?
So I meet him on Hinge. I'm at work. I matched with this guy, and he's like, oh, I'm just passing through Iowa. I don't really live here.
So wait, was this the same? He messaged you the same day that you met up?
Yes.
We move fast. I like it. Okay.
We move fast.
We
exactly.
move fast. I respect it, girl. I respect it.
Exactly.
So when he was DMing you, what was his DM game like?
Very weak DM game. He was very awkward. You know, I was kind of running the show, as I do. So I was like, oh yeah, come on down. Absolutely, like I'd love for you to come over and hang out for the night. He was like, great, I'll be there.
And he had a profile picture?
He did have a profile picture.
Okay, interesting.
So he had like dirty blonde curly hair, piercing blue eyes, but so he was 27, but his skin didn't move.
Okay, what's the convo like? What's the small talk? What are the conversation starters here?
All he wanted to do was talk about politics and economics. He was very liberal, and I would try to bring up other things like, you know, tell me about your friends, tell me about your life, and it was just like, he just didn't really have anything to say.
So you guys are talking, you know, you're having a conversation. How
Right.
does one, if you don't mind me asking, how does one thing lead to another? Because you say in the video that you had intercourse.
Right, we did. So it kind of got to the point where I was like, you know, I gotta work in the morning, like, are we gonna do this or not? Basically pretty straight
Can
up.
I just tell you that I'm obsessed with you? Can I tell you that I'm obsessed with you? Was the hookup normal, or was it like, what the hell is happening?
It was like, what the hell is happening? Like his tongue was moving in all these different directions, and I couldn't keep up. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why there's so much saliva here. It was very uncomfortable situation.
Huh, okay, so then the date wraps up. At
Yes.
night, he says he's going back home.
No, so he spent the night, and I wake up, it's like 7 in the morning. I'm like, I have to leave for work in 30 minutes. I said, so how did you get here? Like, did you drive? And he's like, no, I had a friend drop me off. And I was like, oh, so how are you getting home? And he goes, I didn't really think about that. And I said, okay, like, do you need an Uber? Like, you seriously have to get out now. You are weird. You are not staying in my house any longer.
He didn't have Uber?
He didn't have Earth money to pay for Uber.
Okay, so then what happens?
So then he gets in the Uber. And about 20 minutes into the Uber ride, so the Uber should have taken about an hour. 20 minutes into the Uber ride, I get a notification, your trip has ended. And I was like, what? So I call the Uber, and the Uber's like, yeah, he had me drop him off right outside of this cornfield about 20 minutes away, right off the highway.
Did you message the guy to?
Yes, I said, what, where, like, how are you getting back to this place? And he said, my friend's coming to pick me up here. And I was like, why, your friend doesn't need to come pick you up. I just bought you a $100 Uber. There's no need for your friend to come pick you up. And he just then didn't respond after that.
Okay,
And
so when was this date?
like middle of August of 2019.
2019. Okay, so then when did you remember this incident?
So then about a week ago, the day that I had posted the TikTok, I saw this person post a story on Snapchat. I was like, who is this Dallas guy? Like, I do not know who this is. And so I click on his Snap story, and it was a picture of this guy, like he was taking a selfie, and I was like, who is this? And I was like, oh, it all came back to me. It was like, this is that weird dude. This is the night I couldn't remember. This is the dude that I called in this Uber, and he got dropped off at a cornfield, and then there was a UFO spotting that day. This was the dude that was super weird, and I just couldn't remember anything.
The alien had Snap.
So I messaged him, and I said, I was like, yo, what's the deal? And when I messaged him, it was like the little green check thing. It was like pending.
Did he respond?
No, he never responded, and it was like he unadded me on Snapchat.
Wait, so what do your friends think about this story?
So I live a very, very like delirious, crazy life. So all of my friends were like, even my friends who like don't believe in aliens, they were like, if anyone in the world to happen to, an alien would come down and pick you to have sex with. I have no doubts about it.
You were that girl in the yearbook, most likely to have
Yep.
sex with an alien. That was you.
Exactly. That was exactly my senior superlative.
What, so you in your heart, like girl, real talk me. We know
No.
there's social media. You in your heart believe
Yes.
that you hooked up
Yes.
with an alien.
I genuinely believe I hooked up with an alien. Yes.
Huh.
I took one for the whole planet. People should be more grateful because I took one for the whole planet.
You're not wrong. Yeah, for what it's worth, by the way, the reason I wanted you on this show is because I genuinely believe this.
Yeah.
So does any part of you feel different? Do you feel
No.
like something has changed in you?
I don't, but I've been getting all of these weird DMs on TikTok who claim to be extraterrestrials saying that they think that I'm one of them.
Wow. Now, on a scale of like from excitement to anxiety to being scared, when you made this TikTok, what did you feel?
I was genuinely scared to post because I was like, what if he's coming back? What if he's back on Earth coming back to abduct me?
Has this reduced your interest in apps and hooking up with people from apps?
I deleted all of my dating apps.
For real?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I want you to know I believe you 100%. I believe you 100%. And that is the reason I will not hook up with people. Not because I'm scared,
Yep.
but just because of the extraterrestrials.
Exactly.
Right.
You got to be careful out there.
Oh my God, thank you so much for watching the show. If you click here, I think you can subscribe to the channel. If you click over here, more clips just like this one. Click them.